This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 662 for June 29th, 2020. I'll take short and simple.
The illness was had.
And that's all there was.
Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your incredibly sick host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpier.
Hello.
And the Nimp.
Hello.
Patreon.com/E1M1. The ones are numbers. Get all the cool behind-the-scenes early access stuff. You get cool podcasts throughout the week, and I get to fund this show. So it costs me a lot less out of pocket.
Yes.
As I mentioned at the top, I'm pretty sick this week, so we're just going to do the top of the show here. We have a lot of impactful news stories that I think I'd rather feel better covering. So with that, Moonpier, what have you been playing this past week?
Well, you're in luck, my friend, because I've played 3 games.
Okay.
One of them's nice and easy, Apex Legends. Shock and horror and horror. I played Apex Legends. What a surprise. Okay, so yeah, Apex Legends, we know what it is. We know I like to play it. Let's move on down to Minecraft Dungeons.
Ooh.
So, this is a very average game so far.
Yeah.
Like, there is almost zero depth to this at all, and that might be maybe by design, because it's Diablo for kids and whatever,
Sure.
but kids aren't stupid.
Right.
Give kids credit where it's due. And kids are the reason that Minecraft people started making calculators and working functional PCs in that game.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe give them a bit more credit than that kind of thing. I mean, it's fun, it's dumb, it's very much a turn your brain off, kind of game. I think it looks fine. It's Minecraft style, so whatever. I am only playing this in co-op.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very average experience all the way around.
There's just not a lot to it.
No, not in the slightest. It's like, you go back to home base, and in Diablo, your home base has got 17 different places you can go, quests and challenges and bounties and, 5 different merchants. This one, you go back and you've got 2.
Yeah.
Literally 2.
And a firing range, and that's it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the firing range with the stupid straw dummy people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very much it's okay.
It's fine.
It's not terrible. It is quote unquote free, so
right.
I ain't complaining about that at any time soon. Speaking of quote unquote free, guess what finally dropped to the right price? No Man's Sky.
Oh, there you go.
Where'd you get it free at?
It's on Game Pass right now.
Okay.
So we'll see if that makes the rounds into my current I must be in space theme
Right.
that I'm playing with, because the world is not a place I want to be right now.
Right.
Because my final game this week, it's my problem. It's happened. It's Space Engineers.
Oh, there it is.
I was hoping Elite Dangerous.
No, I'm really tempted to jump back into that, though, because apparently they made mining fun. You now have subsurface mining and a whole bunch of other types of mining you can do. And talking to Rob about it made me real interested in jumping back into that hellhole.
Yeah, we can talk about that later.
Gee, I wonder when we'll do that. Is it when we loop around to your segment by any chance?
Maybe.
So, yeah, Space Engineers. I don't really know what to say. It's very, very complicated. I will admit that fact. But it's so fun. It's so stupidly fun to literally be like, okay, now I need a whole bunch of this material. I'm going to go mine it using the truck that I built. And then, I can't remember if I mentioned it last week, but I built a bus. I call it the bus. which is just a basic flying vehicle, which I went and picked up Rob because I got Rob to spawn into my new world that I built from scratch. So I went and picked him up, spent the week doing some minor upgrades, things like that around the base. And then I thought of something stupid about turning Rob's drop pod into a mining ship for him. So I then went and got Rob's mining ship and then flew that all the way back to the base after doing Rob's drop pod. Tweaked it a little bit, did a whole bunch of changes on it, and got it back to base where Friday, we probably spent Friday and Saturday about 4 hours tweaking these things, finishing them. I built a new mining ship from scratch and trying to figure out how to fly and mine without destroying all of our hard work.
Right.
Which is very difficult, because as soon as you turn the drills on, the whole front of the ship just vibrates really wickedly, and it's very hard to keep that thing in check. But yeah, now we have two flying mining ships. So I think when I was talking about this with Rob, I told him it's a game I need right now because it's a game that has very small steps. Where it's like, step number 1, build a base. Step number 2, improve the base. Step number 3, build some form of land vehicle. Step number 4, figure out a way to make my life a bit easier. I may or may not be down the rabbit hole of automation and conveyor tubes and filters and things like that on, to make my life more simple. Then it was build the bus. Now it's build a mining vehicle. Once I've built the mining vehicle, the next step is, and I apologize in advance, one small step for man.
There it is.
Because the next step is space, where hopefully I can get uranium, and if I can get uranium, then that's great, because it means that I can actually start doing more high-tech stuff. Because uranium only spawns in space, apparently. I don't know why. I just know that that's what it says.
Sounds a lot like No Man's Sky.
Yay. So maybe No Man's Sky is the right game for me next. But no, I love Space Engineers. It's dumb, and it's stupid, and it's broken, and it's janky. But it's so much fun to just, I'm going to stick a podcast in, and then I'm just going to do some busybody work around home.
Yeah.
By home, I mean my Space Engineers base, not in my actual home. Right. What do you think I am, not a slob? Or if Rob's there, it's like, let's just sit down, have a chit-chat, discuss, the daily goings-on, while at the same time doing busybody work around the station. So, I mean, it's been genuinely really, really fun so far. I don't know how I'm going to stop, is the problem. Because, the mode we spawned on, it's like, okay, here is a GPS beacon in space. That is a space base. It even calls it space base. Go there and protect it. So, basically, the mission is go to space, hit a button on this base, and then protect it from waves of enemies, essentially. So that's the end goal, I guess. We'll see how it goes. But right now, the next small step is getting into space.
Right.
Which means that me and Rob are probably going to have to knock heads and figure out exactly what the best method for doing that is. Because it's going to be complicated real quick.
Right.
Hopefully not too complicated, but complicated nonetheless. But yeah, Space Engineers is really, really fun. Didn't have a whole lot of time this week, so that's pretty much all I've been playing.
All right, Nim, how about you?
Cool. So a lot of this I'll be able to shotgun for you real quick. Bloodborne. I managed to get through the beginning area of those weird spider things. Found out that it was a lot easier to take them on with my longsword than tricking it into a greatsword. So I got past that area. I'm inside the keep, which has all kinds of fun, weird enemies, like these invisible ghost women that are literally invisible until you get halfway into an area, and all of a sudden they all spawn at the same time, And then you see them, and they all aggro you because you're in the middle of the room. So that's been amazing. And then running into gargoyles, which look like statues, because why not? They're pretty easy to spot, but they're just a pain sometimes because they put you into ramparts that have a ton of statues everywhere on the walkways and on the walls and stuff. So it's not a whole lot of room to pay attention and fight in. Next game I played, Call of Duty. You don't even have to write that down. I was just messing around, blowing stuff up. It's what you do.
Season pass stuff?
Yeah. Elite Dangerous on the PC. I was playing with Angel Eye, Gibbinator for a little bit, and one of Angel Eye's friends. And
yeah, I've seen a lot of my friends list suddenly start playing Elite Dangerous again. It's like, oh god, don't do that to me. Don't let's say Elite Dangerous, like on my friends list.
We decided to take on a wing mission, which is basically a bunch of you wing up, and you can take one very big trade mission or whatever, fight mission, whatever. But we took a trade mission where we had to bring like 3,700 some odd semiconductors into another region. It was only one jump away without cargo, 2 jumps with cargo. What we did not know was that Gibbinator had literally just started Elite and still had a Sidewinder. We had thought that he had played a little bit more and was on a different ship. So he finally gets into our system. He loads up with 4 cargo, and he can't jump to the system that he needs to drop it off. It's like, okay.
Physics!
Yeah. So eventually, he was dealing with a bunch of other stuff at the time. So eventually, he just was like, all right, guys, I'm just holding you back. I'm going to drop out. It's like, all right, man, just let us know when you're on. But between that and, I don't know, 4 hours later, Angel Eye decided to get a Type 9, which is a really big cargo vessel, which he spec'd it out so it can hold 700 tons of cargo, which at the time we had, his buddy and me just bought a Type 6, which we can only haul like 104 tons. So he loads that bad boy up, and he can't jump to the system that he needs to drop it off at. So he spends probably the next hour or two trying to find a place for him to get an update for his FSD or FDS so that way he can make the jump. And we're sitting here like cross-referencing websites and all this other crap, finally get him squared away. And we were making fun of him because I think he only did like 3 or 4 drop-offs, including the 700 ton, before we finished it out.
Yeah.
That's how it is for Elite. But it's
usually the way it goes. Did you experiment with the
mining
and stuff?
I have not, but Angel Eye has. He was actually talking to me the last time we had played about how you can do basically strip mining on an asteroid, and they have a new system where you can just implode the asteroid and then just send your limpets out and grab whatever's out there that you want. Which is way different from what it used to be the last time I did it, which was you stared at an asteroid for an hour with mining lasers, with limpets running into your lasers constantly, and
yeah. So that type of mining still exists. There's 2 new types. The one Rob was telling me about was subsurface mining, which is basically you fire a missile drill at the asteroid, and then you take part in like a quick time event mini game thing, and then it starts throwing stuff out to you as it. Apparently, it's a really good way to make some money as well. So
yeah, he was doing. God, well, it was something, ice diamonds or something. I don't remember. It's been a while.
Low heat.
Yes.
Rob was doing low heat diamonds.
Yeah, that's what it was. And he was telling me that he was making a fair amount of money just doing that. But you can only mine for so long in the blackness of space before you just get tired of it.
Yeah, a little bit too much space madness.
Yeah. Next game that I played off and on was Greedfall.
Thank you for saying the name of that out loud, because I was looking for it in my games list and I was like, I can't remember what this thing is called, and I really would like to start it at some point soon.
Yeah, so I I am still on the main island. It looks like that's the only area you move to. I have gotten outside of the main town, which is actually fairly big, and there's a lot to do inside of it. But it's set up, if anyone has ever played Baldur's Gate or Pillars of Eternia or any of those CRPGs, when you leave your current map, it brings up like an old school like parchment map. And it tells you the locations that you can go, and it shows you like, oh, it'll take you 12 hours to travel this distance. And it's got connecting paths as well. So, like, leaving the town, I went into this field area. I don't remember what it's called. But then it's like another hub area that you can explore around in. And then when you leave that field, you can move on to, like, the town that I was trying to get to. So that's kind of cool. A lot of just walking around, killing stuff, gathering random berries and materials and stuff from killing things. It's that sort of game. It's like The Witcher, Dragon's Age. Fine by me. Yeah, I mean, it's got little bits of soul elements into it, and I mean, it's pretty fun. Still hate the moving mechanic. Momentum needs to go away. I don't think it's going to, but it's still really weird.
Yeah. Mass Effect 2 and 3, I think both had to.
Yeah.
Like let go of the stick and 3 extra steps to go.
Yeah, it's a pain, but I mean, the game is fun, what I've been able to play of it so far, because I've been stupid busy still. But next game after that, I played Helltaker on Steam. It is...
Okay, is that a professional wrestler?
No, it is a free game to play. And the concept of this game, or I guess the story, is that your character decides that he wants a harem made out of demon women.
Okay, this is the game that you posted the Twitter,
yes.
The images on Twitter. Okay.
On my Twitter, the image that I posted was me hitting the hint button, and that was the hint that I got. Which is why I said, I'm really liking this game so far. But the actual gameplay is that you are put onto this map, and you have a certain amount of movements that you can do before you die. And so obviously moving in a square, it's grid based, but you don't see a grid on the screen. But so moving one square, that takes away one of your actions. Kicking a rock over so that you can move it takes an action. If you run into a spike pit, that takes away an action, as well as the action that you took to move to that square. And then kicking an enemy also takes an action. So the main goal is to work your way around this map to get this key, so that way you can unlock this block, so that way you can make it to this demon woman. And then once you do, you have to... She basically says something. It's not necessarily a question, but you get this 2-option choice of what to say to this person. And if you choose the wrong one, you die, and you have to restart that map again. So
interesting.
It's not difficult. The maps, I think the longest I was on a map was 15 minutes just figuring it out. There is only 10 maps on here, and there is not a save state, which isn't an issue because it has chapter select, so you can just... I'm assuming you can start right as soon as you download it and just go straight to map 10 if you wanted to. I don't know why you would, because you wouldn't know the mechanics.
You wouldn't know anything about the game, yeah.
But the writing's funny. The music's all right. It's just kind of rock music a little bit in the background as you're trying to figure things out. So it's fun. I like it. I'll finish playing it because it seems short and simple. And I want to figure out how this harem turns out.
Honestly, short and simple sounds amazing right now.
Yeah.
I will gladly take short and simple over most of the stuff at this moment in time.
Yeah. The next game that I played was actually a demo. It is also on Steam. It's called Little Witch No Beta. It actually, T-Bomb Rocks had posted this in Discord, and I was checking out the demo, but this is... Currently, it's on sale right now for $8.99 until the end of this week. It looks like the normal price is $9.99. It is early access, but it has a free demo that you can check out, and any save that you make with that demo can be transferred to the full game if you decide to buy the actual game. This is kind of like a cutesy Souls-like game.
Interesting.
Which That's what I'm being led to believe. That's the conclusion I came to. I don't know.
If that's what T said, it's a lie. Just so you
No,
know.
that's not what he said. That was just me watching the trailer and reading some things about it. That's kind of the conclusion I've come to, and I only played about like 10 or 15 minutes of the demo, and I can see some aspects of it, but this isn't like Bloodborne where it's going to kick your teeth in. I haven't died yet. I haven't made it to a boss yet either, which is apparently where the game gets real hard. But just running around and exploring and stuff, it seems really interesting. But I haven't really played enough of it to really make a judgment call on it. So I'm going to keep checking out that demo, see how that goes. But just to get it out there for everyone to check it out, you play as a little witch, and it looks cutesy. So if you wanted to try something new, check it out. See if it's for you.
Yeah. There's so many demos on that thing. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And it looks nice. I mean, it looks like a lot like the Atelier games, where it's...
You say that like I know what that is? You do know you talk about a whole bunch of games that I have no idea what they are.
You don't know what that is, but Boston knows what that is.
Of course he does.
Two other people listening to the podcast get that reference.
If literally, anytime you guys say a name and it's just like, okay, I don't know what that game is, I'm guessing it's a JRPG of some form.
That's fair, yeah.
It's got a 15-word title.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna check out more of Little Witch. What was it? No beta. So it's demo's free on Steam. Check it out, and it's on sale for like $1 less right now. Next game that I played, which was free thanks to PlayStation Gold this month, was Star Wars Battlefront 2.
PlayStation Plus. Don't get your brands mixed up. They'll revolt.
I wrote it down. I actually checked it. So. Not really a game I had an interest in. It just happened to be free. I was like, screw it, I'll check it out. Played it, and I kind of like it. I'm glad they took all the pay stuff out of it, it seems like. But it feels... The first 2 battles that I went into with this feels like an all-out Star Wars movie battle, where you just have laser bolts flying everywhere, and you have no clue where anything is, what's happening, who you're shooting at, who's shooting you. It's kind of fun chaos.
Yeah, I absolutely adore Battlefront 1. Like, I think that got a bad rap, and in some instances, rightly so. But Battlefront 1 was so much fun. Yeah. Like, it's dumb fun. That's exactly what it is. It's like, I always want to be in a Star Wars game. Now you can be, except you're the Stormtrooper, and you don't realize you are until you start playing that kind of game.
Yeah. And you realize that you're just a number amongst 50 other people. The best mode that I have really enjoyed out of this game is something called Ewok Hunt.
Of course.
Well, hang on a second. So, what this is that you get dropped onto the moon, and it is pitch black. You can't see anything. One person out of, I think, like 19 or 20... gets spawned as an Ewok. Everybody else is a Stormtrooper. And if that Ewok happens to kill somebody, they get turned into an Ewok when they spawn again. So it's basically infected. Yeah. But the cool thing is like I said, it's pitch black. You can't see. So you have a flashlight on your gun that has a little battery timer, and it's got to recharge if it runs out. So, and everyone is spawned randomly on this map. So the 3 times that I played it, I only spawned with one other person once. The other 2 times, I had to run around this dark map, not knowing the area, and try to find these people. And it's kind of cool, the weird horror feeling you get out of this, because you're running through this forest, and all of a sudden you see flashlights off in the distance, so then you start running towards those, because you're trying to group up, so that way you can defend yourselves. But then you see like red blaster bolts to your left. So you're trying to figure out, okay, there's also people over here shooting at Ewoks or something, or just shooting to be weird so they can light things up, because that happens.
Yeah.
But like the Ewoks don't have... They've got a spear, and they've got like this bag that they can throw that throws out like these little firefly things that will attack Stormtroopers. But they don't have any ranged attacks, really, besides that bag. And they're also short. And
they're the odd job of this situation.
Yes,
right.
And they actually made a forest for this level. So there's like ferns and stuff everywhere. So you can't necessarily see the ground or anything. So it's literally this thing of it's dark, you think you see movement, you shoot in a direction, and all of a sudden everyone you're with also shoots in that direction. And then you see somebody shooting off in a different direction, so everyone turns around and shoots in that direction, trying to figure out where these things are at, because you can't see for anything. It's a really awesome mode.
Honestly, like you can say what you want about, I can't remember if it was AVP from the 360 days or Colonial Marines, but one of those two games had an infection multiplayer mode, which was Marines against aliens, and you would spawn with 19 Marines and one alien, and then literally the alien would pick people off one by one by one by one, and then they become aliens too. So then it's like just this horde of xenomorphs running after like these 4 like Marines who are left, and that mode was insanely good and tense. And it's like stuff like that is so easy to do, but so hard to get right. And like that feeling when you get it right, and especially like you're saying, like a dark level, like a forest and stuff like that, and it's just like, okay, so I'm just gonna get bopped in the head from behind, by some spear,
because you have, and then they have like animal noises and stuff in here too, and you can hear things moving, even though there's nothing really there except for maybe an Ewok, but they don't have like other critters or stuff moving through the forest. It's just noise. So it's like with my headset that I have for my PlayStation, like I can hear stuff in the distance. And I'm trying to gauge, should I be shooting at this, or am I going to be giving away my position to everybody else on the map because they can see my little red laser bolt shoot out? And I've won both times as a Stormtrooper and as an Ewok. For the Stormtroopers, you're basically, it's called Survive the Night, where you're just supposed to wait out the time limit and survive, and then eventually it'll say, okay, shuttle evac is coming, get to this location, and it gives you like this little HUD indicator to let you know where to go, and there's a red flare that goes off on the ground in that area, so you know where to stack up at. And once that goes off, you usually have like 5 minutes until the shuttle shows up, and that is some of the most intensive fighting I've ever been in, where you've got Ewoks trying to ambush you, and there's like 5 of us trying to hold the line so we can run up this stupid ramp and get through this shuttle so we can win. And it's pretty amazing. It's way better than I thought it was going to be. So that's all I got for that. I didn't get in any of the space modes or anything else. I know there's a ton of other modes to check out. It was just for some reason I had like a daily to throw Ewok bags or whatever, and so I went to Ewok Hunt. And that was my life for a couple of hours. Last game that I played was Prelude to the Fallen. This one's just going to be real quick. I've done a lot of story, but I'm not going to talk about any of it because it's real spoilery about things going down and plot twists. Still really liking the game. And that's about it. The only other thing I have is a show and tell real quick, because I have issues of buying things that I already own for other systems.
There you go.
So yeah, I bought Ys Celceta for the PS4, and I will be playing that sometime. To go with my Vita Collector's Edition, I bought the PS4 Collector's Edition, because I have a problem.
You're amongst friends.
Yes. Yes, anyway, you do. But you might say friends. I say concerned friends.
Yeah. It says the guy who hunts achievements all day.
That's right. Hey, I don't do it all day. I have a job. Thank you very much.
All right, I'm not feeling well enough to talk about my game, so that's the episode for this week. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
Do you have any titles?
Boston is sick.
Yes, it's a pretty good one.
I can get behind that.
Quote unquote free, one small step. Physics, what's it called? Harem of Demon Women. I'll take short and simple, which I feel is very appropriate today. A JRPG of some form. You're the Stormtrooper, Ewok Hunt, The Odd Job.
And I have Space Base.
I like short and simple.
Space Base.
Works for me. Which that's probably what I'm going to say.
All right, starting.
How about I say short, you say simple?
3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 662 for June 29th, 2020. I'll take short and simple.
Illness was had.
And that's all there was.
All right, bye, everyone. Bye. We can start.